This time we're going to look at clues as to what might be going wrong with the throw, and a flight that is dragged, in other words the point is up and stays up and it hits the ground tail first, is usually an indicator of a low arm and a point that's too high on release. So let's have a look and see the flight characteristics of a low and early arm. And it'll just drop at the end. Try one more. Low arm, high point, and it'll fly, tail hitting the ground. Okay, great. So we know that that's going to be a point that's too high and an arm that's too low. Okay, great. On this one, we'll manufacture a fault where the javelin flies high and then in an arc that sticks in almost vertically. So you'll top it. You'll hit it in such a way that you'll bring the wrist snapping through too much so that the javelin actually loses distance by sticking in at a very steep angle. Okay? An indication of a topping throw, flicking over with the fingers. Okay, so it looks to the naked eye fine, but of course the trick is to look at the flight of the javelin and then work out exactly what's happened. So let's have another one of those. Really flick, over flick, accelerate the fingers forward and top the javelin in an intentional error. Yep, so it's almost vertical. Okay, so there's the clue, and that gives the coach a clue, the teacher a clue as to what to do to correct to get more distance. Okay, thanks. This next fault is extremely common. It's a low arm, which isn't always obvious to the eye, but the clue is in the landing of the javelin. The point of the javelin for a right-handed thrower will go to the left and the tail to the right, and it's very obvious that that landing is due to a low arm. So if you can manufacture that now, without throwing too far so you don't hurt yourself. Yep, point to the right at the tail end, and then the actual point that landed is over to the left. Even more exaggerated on this one. So that's even worse, which is a good clue as to what's happening. Well done. This is a drill then to help correct the flight problems that people might encounter, whether the javelin lands point to the left, tail to the right for a right-handed thrower, vice versa for left-handed, or indeed if it's either flat, tail first, or topping it, sticking in vertically. And you're going to very simply aim towards the white marker with the javelin drawn back already, pointing the javelin actually at the target, and then take one step in and release at it. Okay. So you can automatically start correcting. You threw just over, so you're going to throw at a slightly lower angle onto it this time. And corrected, and now that's a little bit near, so the next two throws you'll correct even further. These next two throws then, you're going to correct even further. From throwing too far, over-correcting, throwing too short, you're spot on the target now. Aim for it, line it up, step in and release. Lovely, and one more. Even closer if you can. Really focus, line up the javelin, the point with it, straight for the target. Well done. This drill then is more advanced to again correct on the flight characteristics of the javelin and the point control. So important to throw a good distance. You're going to line up with the left target first and throw towards that, getting as close as you can, and then with the second javelin over to the right. Real line, but on both occasions line the point of the javelin up so you're pointing absolutely at the target and at one step in. Well done. Correct now for the right hand target. Line up. Well done. So we can keep practicing and moving the targets around. Go and collect.